Hello guys, and welcome to a new video. So in this video we're going to look into the table that we created last time in the users page, and then we're going to learn how we can delete a particular user from our table. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a column here, and essentially we're going to have a link. So once we click, we're going to go to a new page, and then that page will allow us to actually delete a particular user. So now for this one, first of all, let me just add on this table kind of another column ID. And so basically I'm just going to show you why we need it. And then one more column that is operation. Close the column. And if you see over here now, we should have two more columns. So now the ID for this one, it's just going to be TD, and then it's just gonna be a row of ID, and we close that one, and then it's just gonna be, we close the TD with the TR, and let's see if that would work. Good. So we get the ID for this one. Now for the operation, the very last one. So let me do a new line here. Actually, we don't need to close the TR yet. We're just going to close it now somewhere. So close the TR. Now, for this one, what we're going to do is, again, it's just going to be a link. So the link is just going to be ahref. And for this one, we're just going to go to a page called, like, let's say delete.php. And then we close that one. And so delete, and then we close the A tag, and we close, I think we need the TD for the column. We close the TD and the TR. Okay, so unexpected line 27, yeah, because we don't have a semicolon. So there you go. So now all these, they basically go to a page, delete.php, object not found, because we don't have one. So let's actually create this file, delete.php. Now in this delete.php, obviously as of now it's empty, but the idea here is as I delete, so far, if you look into this, kind of like going back, as we delete, they all go to the same page. Now, obviously for this one, I'm not really interested in just, going to the same page. My click on this delete should do something different than the click on this one. And essentially what I need to do to actually, because I'm deleting this guy, I need to pass some information to the delete.php page, and that information is going to be this ID. So when I go to the next page, the new page is going to, pretty much know that I need to delete this guy with the ID 1. And then if I click this one, the new page, delete.php, would know that I need to delete the user with the ID 2, so on and so forth. So now the way we would do this is, as you pass, to the page, in PHP, we're not going to really talk much about it, but essentially what you need to do is you need to add a $, and then it's just going to be ID equals something. So now if I say, for instance, ID equals 3, just to test it out, if I just hover over this, if you look down here in the page, it says ID equals 3, ID equals 3, but now all the IDs are just 3. In this case, it's not I3, it's this one, row of ID. So I'm actually gonna, equal row ID. Now in this case, obviously notice it's giving me an error because so let's see if I just dot and then dot. Let's see if that will. And that's why it gets really confusing. You have to just look at the URL. So basically, this one matches this one for now, row ID, and then I have the, let's see. So now the way I normally do this is I just echo it so I can see what's going on. Let's just go back because I think it might be easier for me to look at. So when this was a 3, it was no problem. So now it would be the equal. It's going to give me this. So if I just end this down here and then add this, and I think, let's see what's gonna happen for now. So it's actually giving me, like it took off some lines. It means and that's because we need, I think, this one. So it's gonna happen. That's good. So now you can see down here ID 1. Once I hover, ID 2, ID 3, ID 5, ID 6, exactly what we wanted. So now when I click, I go to this page. The page is empty. It really doesn't matter. And essentially, the idea here is in PHP, I can get this ID from the URL. So if I go to my delete.php, have PHP tags, and then let's say echo, and the way you would get this is, kind of like very similar to the post array. In fact, it's actually the get array, which is very similar to the post, like with the form, get ID. So now if I refresh, notice it's 1. If I change this like to 1,000, it's 1,000 because it gets the ID. This ID is exactly this ID. It's the same string name. So now, kind of like, I think you should be able to know what we're going to do. So what we're going to do for this one is pretty much you have SQL variable. So delete from user where ID equals. It's just going to be, now if you want, you can, for simplicity, just define variable called ID equals get ID. So it's just going to be ID, close that one. And basically, this is the SQL. Now to run the SQL, what you need to do is MySQLi query. You pass it the connection variable, but notice we did not include this one, so we need to actually include this one. So include db.php. So pass it the connection variable, and then the SQL. And basically, this doesn't return anything. So what you can do is just if statement. So if this one, you can echo user ID ID was successfully deleted, and then else you can say echo error happened or some kind of like error message. So now here is actually, let's test this out. So what I will do is I will delete this guy. So the phone number 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 6 entries. So let's actually go back to, actually, you know what? Let's just add a link to this, like the user's page from delete. So I'm just gonna actually go back. So go back, refresh. Here are my users. Let me delete. Error happened. Connection successful. Let's say what we got. Refresh. It did not delete that one. So let's go look at the code. So delete from user. What did we call our table? Users. That's the reason, I think. Let's go back. Sign up. Actually, it's users. Let's try to delete this one. User ID 1 was successfully deleted. If you refresh, see, we actually deleted the user from our table. And obviously, it's formatting issues, so you can, fix this one because, like, this is just like some text. Now, if you, refresh, if you go back now, instead of sign up page, let's also go back to another page, which is users page. So users. So now here's my users, and you can see now the user is just gone. Now this one is just, I can safely delete it, and then users, you can see it's just gone. Okay, so hope that makes sense, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.